Good afternoon, everybody in the VHR. Cyan here. Going to go ahead and do a quick review of a couple of the items that are coming up for us. Legion, right? I'm super pumped. I'm excited. We've got the website up to date, so I wanted to go ahead and point out a couple of things that we have going on involving the forums, also our YouTube channel, and our Facebook group, and its consistent use in the upcoming raid content. So to start with, at VariansRaidersEngine.com forum, if you haven't been there, please register on the site, and at that point, once you've done so, I'll get a notification in the lower right hand corner, and from there I can make sure that you're listed as a raider, and we can work forward from there so that way you'll be able to post and be able to see everything that's coming. Now currently we have our raid team roster 7.0. It's class, stat, role, best in slot, and both specs. Okay, so like what that means is that whatever tune you're playing, I need to know. So I need you to come under the raid team member list once you're registered on the site. I need you to click on it, and then I need you to put your name, and then I need you to be able to fill out the information that I'm asking for. So what I need to know is your priority stat lines. Now a lot of this I know is going to be presentable, for example, on like icy veins and stuff like that throughout it, but what I want is to see if you're researching it, and also to give me a heads up so I can start working with the stat priorities and get my own little cheat sheet list on the side, so I can make sure that when we're looking at gear that you're putting the right pieces on consistently, and that you're working towards trying to maximize your total output. Also, we want the role that you're going to be playing, and then eventually a best in slot list. Now, like I said, all this is going to become available. You can copy paste it and you can post it underneath it, but this gets you registered on the website. It also puts us in a position where we know that you're looking for what pieces consistently, instead of like rolling on everything. We don't need rolling on everything. We need to have to get loot to start being a lot quicker. So it's like kill a boss, you know, get our reps, get a kill, move on to the next boss, go through the trash, kill that boss, etc. And we need to speed up on those things. So you're going to see a lot more, speed boost being used from like mob to mob. You're going to be seeing a lot more hero being used. You're going to be, we're going to become very familiar with doing resets consistently once we get to the boss, so that way we have hero available, and then we can start working on our strategies. Okay, so please take your time to do this. Do it as soon as possible. Once it's up there, if you could throw a whisper to Boom, or if you could throw a whisper to Dan, or to your team leader once we set up the teams, that'd be great, and I appreciate it very much. Now, going back to the forums, we have the Emerald Nightmare raid zone for Heroic and Mythic. This is not available yet to visually see. We still have some more material that's getting put together, and we should have it up and running for you on Wednesday. Once Wednesday comes around, we'll be having the meeting, and I should be able to activate it at that point and at least give you guys some material that we put together. Each one of the leaders and team leaders, and also our raid leaders, are going to be working on making sure that the material is presentable within the next couple of 48 hours. So if it's not, then it doesn't matter. I mean, the reality is that we're going to start putting it there, and then you can start looking at it, and then we can start using it as a place to kind of store all the information that we gather involving links, videos, beta, alpha, concurrent, logs, all that stuff, just like we did before throughout WOD. We're going to be doing the same now for Legion, and that's going to give us an opportunity to be able to always check that material and always be able to transpose it into Discord, for example, while we're raiding, and be able to look at it, for example, if we have any position issues or log issues. Okay. Also, remember that we have a YouTube channel, and we also have a Facebook group. Both of those are accessible right here. And right here at the top of the website, you just click either one of them and it'll take you to it. If you're not a current subscriber, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, so that way we can start putting videos together. You're going to see a Legion section opening up for the raid content, and we're going to use it the exact same way. So if we're having any issues on bosses, or if we're having any kind of new material that we want to bring up, or adjustments that need to be made after one day to the next, we'll be able to do so immediately and post it concurrently. I'm also going to be more on top of this. This is going to be kind of like what I'm going to be focusing on most of the time. So it's going to allow me to be able to make sure we get like kill videos up consistently, be able to get strategy videos up consistently, and also the weekly. So you'll be seeing a lot more material coming into this channel, so a lot more opportunity to be able to watch these videos, for example, while you're at work on your break, or because that's what I want to do. I want to take up your lunch break, but it gives us a chance to communicate, be able to keep that open forum back and forth between us if you have any questions. And then finally, we have our public group. If you're not part of our public group, please make sure that you sign up. I don't care in what format you do it, but all material as far as adjustments, notifications, IMing, video chatting, it can all be done through this public group, and it allows us to be able to get on top of elements that come along at a really, really quick fashion. So if you haven't had the time, please do so. The pin post currently takes you to the forums, and it allows you to be able to go ahead and do your registration for your tune. We're using that to be able to build our rosters, as we've discussed on the Wednesday meetings. We also have a number of other things. Hey Marcus, that's a friend of mine. So that way we'll be able to stay on top of the material, and then we'll be able to address everything that's being addressed on Wednesdays with these meetings forward consistently all together. So take a look at it, see what you think. Please comment. Also, more likes. Like if you've read the material and there's some object that you like about it, don't be afraid to comment. Really, don't be afraid to click likes. The more communication, the more participation, things like that we have, that's all positive. So let's try and focus on that consistently. Same for the forums too. If we're doing posts on the forums consistently and everybody's participating on it, it's a good thing. It's a positive thing. That means we're all putting energy towards it. There will be a meeting this Wednesday as far as dates that are coming up. I've got scheduled meetings. They're just listed as guild announcements right now. We adjusted all the ranks. Mythic Raider is going to be awarded to those who take care of getting on the roster and have the necessary information. So that means getting on the forums, it means being a part of the website, getting on the forums, making sure that your tune is registered as far as under that forum that I showed at the beginning of the video, and the necessary material is being posted consistently. About mid-September is when we're going to be putting the teams together, and then you're going to have a designated team leader. That team leader is going to be responsible for communication to you, and also you'll be responsible for communication to them, so that way we can make sure that everybody is participating, is on top. Now, as far as for what are we trying to accomplish in World of Warcraft, right? In Legion, we are going for to be the top mythic raid guild that we can be. I want to shoot, we're trying to be the best on the server. I want to try to doing the best that we can consistently. So what steps does that mean? That means that we need to have high attendance. That means we need to have high consistent communication, and that we also need to make sure that we know what we're doing. We know the strategies. We know what's coming up. So taking to example the last couple of meetings, what we've been doing is we've been talking about the first couple of bosses and how we're going to deal with them. And we've had about 11, 12 show up, but we need to get our numbers up, because we really need to sit there and try to get as much of this going forward and as much participation as we can, so that way we can do well. If you're having any issues at all, please directly contact anyone that's listed as a team leader or anyone that's listed as a raid leader. They're there to assist you, or myself, okay? If you have questions about key bindings because you don't have it, or you're interested in doing it, or you've been doing it but you want to find a better way, I've actually found some really great JPEG material that shows different layouts that they use for like PvP, for example, where it's a central movement positioning with all the commands around it. I've also gone into one where I put all of my movement in the lower left-hand corner and all my functions are in front of that. So there's different formats that you can use, but they all play a role in your success. But if you're not key binding, you're not going to be able to raid on a heroic mythic level. I don't care what you say you can do. It's just not. I've seen how it is, and like the material that Derek posted a few weeks ago, maybe like a week ago, 10 days ago. Let me see if I can find it right quick. See, we got tons of material that we posted, communications, videos, there's all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, if you're not using our Facebook group, it's crazy. But he posted that, let's see. Never find something when you want it, right? Right off the bat. The material basically centers on the importance of knowing your rotation and improving on it, and knowing what your keybinds do over everything else. I'll try to find it and bump it up so that way everybody can take a look at it. But it makes a huge difference. It really does. Knowing what you're doing, statistically, an individual broke down all the different logs and showed what different material they were able to use from what was going on in each encounter, and there was a clear difference between somebody, for example, that was like a 40-50 percentile player and a 70, 80, 90 percentile player, and it was directly relative to them knowing what they were doing and maximizing it, versus, for example, a player that was going for using a tune that had max potential but wasn't executing it, so that's how they had their X and Y and were comparing them. And it showed consistently that the tune that the player knew how to play better, regardless of its positioning and the curve of total damage that it could do, for example, in each encounter, was consistently outperforming by like 20, 30, 40% against the top tune. So it comes down to knowledge and whatnot. So if you have any questions about that, please ask, okay? I appreciate you watching the video. If there's anything that I can do to help you, please ask, and have a blessed day. I'll have more videos up as we go, okay?